Okay, guys. Now, in the last example that we did, we took a look at what's a void method that didn't have any parameters. This time we're going to change things up a little bit, and we're actually going to go through and use a method that has some parameters in it, and then if we have time, we'll actually do a couple of other things to it and change its type. But we're going to stick with the void one for right now. Towards the end of it, we might actually get into changing it to be something other than a void. So we're going to call this one rooms. Room methods. Again, I'm in Unit 3. Alright, now we're going to start this one off just like we did last time. We're going to use the exact same code as we started our room one off with the other day. So we're going to run this and hope that we get an answer. And we'll change one of these values just to make sure that we are getting an answer. Okay, so good. So this is what we had last time for our room, the very first room example that we did. So what we want to do here is we're going to add a method here. So we're going to use a method called public calculate area, and we're going to give it a couple of parameters. Int with an int length. Okay, now what don't I have done right? Method, valid method. Oh, I left out my method type. Void. Okay. So what we're going to do here is we're going to take the I'm just going to say area equals width times height. I'll always do that. Length, and we're going to do now. So all we've done is we've moved some of this information down. Now you notice we do have a couple of little errors turn up. I'll address them now in 1 second. We're going to take area out of up here because we don't need it anymore. We're going to take this whole section out of here because we don't need it anymore. And we're going to take this section out of here because we don't need it anymore. What we're going to have here is just calculate area. And then we're going to add parameters of width and length. Now, the reason that this is coming up as being underlined, and I'll actually just run this so we can see what's going on here, is that it doesn't know what area is anymore. Even if I left area up here, so at this point you think, okay, well, area wasn't defined, so maybe now it'll be okay. And sure enough, I still get the same error. The reason for that is a thing called scope. Your scope, if something's declared, if area was declared as part of my class, this would work fine, assuming I didn't have that there. But because I have area defined as an integer in my main function, it means it doesn't exist inside of my calculate area function. That's why I can use the same things here. Like width and length work because they're the parameters that get sent down, so they get declared here in the function heading. So what that means is I just need to add int area in this base here, and I should be good. So when we take a look at this, when we go to run it, see if we get the same answer. So Now we'll try change that back to a 5 and run it again. Alright, so you can see that that's actually working there now. And what we're able to do is we're able to create common things that you do over and over again in a program, and we can create a thing called a method for them. And this is an example of how we can kind of let the method do its own thing for us. So at this point, this is always printing this out for us. That might not necessarily be what we wanted to do, but just to illustrate what's happening, that's why I kind of did it this way. Now, the other type of thing you can do is you can do a thing called having your method return a value. So if instead of doing this calculate area, I was to say println, I need that. That's right. Let's see. Plus calculate area plus square feet. Now, the reason it's giving us an error here is it's saying that the void type is not allowed here. That's because this value, or this declaration down here, says this function is of type void. In other words, it doesn't return a value. But if I change this to be of type int, it'll need to return something. What it'll need to return is area. Now I want to just comment out the system out from here and see what we have up here. I got a bracket expected. I got a bracket there. I mustn't have a bracket right here. Okay, just a second now. Let's hope I got that done right. Now, when I go to run this now, my answer ultimately is the same. But now, I'm not directly kind of doing my print down here, which means if I need to reuse this over and over and over again, I'm able to. And that's kind of the first rule of programming. When you want to be able to take things that are going to happen a lot, and you break them out into things called other functions or methods, depending on the paradigm. Anything that's object oriented is called a method. Anything that's procedurally oriented is called a function. Same thing really, but you want to take these things, break them out so that you can use them over and over again and in other spots and not have to redo it each time. The other neat thing about this is that I can actually kind of now just do a little cut and paste job here. So I'm going to get 3 different areas. So I'm going to actually, looks like I did 4, so that's okay. Alright, so I do 4 different areas. When I run this particular one, my first area is 375, my second one is 1,875, 2,875, and 3,075. So you can see how being able to do this, I'm just able to change my values here a little bit, and I'm able to just make that one single call. Can start to save you an awful lot of time. And that call always just comes down here. By me changing these parameters, the value that I'm getting outputted here changes accordingly. So we'll kind of leave that one there for now, and we'll take a look at classes next, I believe, and then we'll kind of get into how all this stuff works together. And we'll also talk a little bit about the public and private nature and hiding variables and stuff like that. So anyway, guys, I will talk to you all later. Bye for now.